I think the first thing that needs to be done is the allocation of a budget to education. As much as there are many other complex issues around teacher training, if we start with that allocation from the public sector's point of view, then at least we would begin to build up the public schools in terms of the infrastructure, teacher training, and even quality assurance, because it's very complex.
Let me get you right. Are you suggesting that the allocation for education should also extend to the private schools?
Not necessarily to the private schools. Not necessarily to the private schools. So in the public sector, what the private schools need to be checked on is their own quality assurance. Is the quality of teaching and learning, the quality of teachers, the quality of the curriculum. I think there are about 16 curricula in Lagos State right now, and it's not properly harmonized. So people are teaching essentially what they want or what they think is best, or what standards they think they might be trying to lead up to. But I think it's important that there's one common education strategy for Lagos, so that everybody knows where they align to, everybody knows how they are performing and what targets they are meeting, so that people will come out and so that there'll be good outcomes from the schools.
You didn't mention one thing, which is the learning environment itself, which is, for me, one of the most important things. I remember at the time I went on an inspection years ago with a certain governor, a surprise inspection to public schools. And the first thing that struck me was that there were so many schools that didn't have a playpen or a playground. So children just went to school. And after school, they stayed for extra classes, and then they go home and they still have a lesson teacher. You know, that whole, and then there was a teacher who spelled social studies with an S. Social, the S.
With an S in the middle.
S-O-S-I-A-L.
Yes. So I found that, I did some work with Lagos State a few years ago, and I found that there were a lot of projects around trying to get people to go to public schools. But what we actually discovered was that some children don't want to go to school.
Wow.
They would actually rather be on the streets hawking for money and trying to get as much change as they can to buy whatever they want or to give back to their parents, who even send them out to the streets. So what happens is that on one part of that, it might be a bit of the fault of the parents because they are looking for something else. But on the children's perspective, you need to enjoy school. You need to be motivated to go to school. You need to enjoy your learning environment. You need to like what you're learning to actually absorb the knowledge. And the thing is, what really breaks my heart is that Nigerian children are brilliant. They're actually brilliant. If you pick a child on the street and ask him just any random questions on arithmetics, he'll probably be able to understand and get it correctly. It's just that the learning environment itself is not conducive. Like I said, there are no playpens. From the ages of about 18 months to about 6 years, children should be learning through play. Children should enjoy their learning environment. They should enjoy going to school. But if they're going to schools where that environment does not exist, they're not encouraged to go to school. And even if they do, they're not encouraged to learn while they're at school. They're like, okay, well, I'm coming here to tick a box. I'm coming here to sit down for a few hours. I'm not actually learning anything. So there's that gap from that perspective. And then when it comes to the teachers, this is something that I am really, really worried about, because like I said, even at my school, finding good teachers, well-skilled teachers, and also passionate teachers, because the teaching profession is very interesting. You can't just be a good teacher and just at the end of the day just call it a day and say, okay, I'm done with my job. You actually have to have a passion for the job, because it's a very humanitarian thing. You have to have a passion for children. You have to be sure that whatever knowledge you have is passed across to a child.